see it?
Not yet.
You're muted.
That would explain.
Are you seeing it?
I was also trying to wait to see it until like how long the delay is until I heard myself, and then I remembered I muted the tab.
You muted. You're like, weird. I don't. Does it show live?
It's like maybe 5-ish seconds delayed.
No, that's fine as long as it shows that it's live. Yeah. Okay.
No, it's live for sure. And there's one person. Oh, that's me.
Okay.
Mixing it up in the chat.
Yeah, we'll wait. I mean, we'll wait a few minutes. Just stretch a little bit live. Ugh. What if all newscasters like did their like warm up, but it was all live? Like, what if they had to do it live?
Me.
Right?
Me. Ma. Okay.
Ow now, brown cow. Ow now, brown cow. Unique.
Pack the cat and have it yad.
Unique New York.
Unique New York. Oh. I was never able to do that one. Unique New York always got me. I could never say that more than 2 or 3 times in a row.
Oh man,
that was fun.
Honestly, that was a good warm up. Honestly, you know, I mean, soon we're gonna learn. You know,
tree.
Tree. Did someone? Nobody even prompted that. You just did that out of your own accord.
Do you not remember that from camp?
No, I remember that. I just thought you like looked at the chat and saw it. I'm like, nobody wrote anything.
No.
Honestly,
I also need to like not have the chat up on my other monitor. I need to put it on the other side because I don't know which you I'm talking to, and it's like tripping me out here.
Oh, that's good. What does it say that we have for viewer count?
Oh, I gotta go to the other tab now. 3 people are out there. Hey,
let's go. You know what?
Look at that. We got people.
They're here. Let's just get started then.
I'm the elusive strawberry, by the way. This is my face reveal.
This episode is sponsored by Technical Setup. Do you have anything? It's weird when we don't have
this
theme
episode
music or anything.
Is sponsored by this pen.
That pen. No other pen.
Just that one.
All right. You ready?
Profile pen.
Fired up. Ready to go. Welcome to the live show, folks. This is Sorry for the Wait, a weight loss podcast for regular people, by regular people. I am your host, Seth.
And I am your host, Strawberry.
I really thought you were going to forget like what your line was there, as if we haven't done it.
I was thinking of a way to mix it up because, you know me, I love to mix it up a little bit. You know, saying it the same way over and over.
You had
to throw zig and zags.
You had a slight pause that I was like, is he clamming up on live stream?
No, I was gonna try to like steal your name from you, and then I realized that bit wouldn't work. So
yeah,
I stopped
think you've already tried.
But then you decided to interrogate me about the bit that didn't work out, and now it sounds bad. But hey, 6 people are watching it.
I think it makes for a fantastic intro. Welcome, folks, to the first ever live podcast event from Sorry for the Wait. This is titled Sorry for the Bait.
The podcast that doesn't mute their phones.
The podcast that doesn't mute their phones. Sorry for the Bait. We had talked about it on this past week's episode. Sorry for the Bait, BAIT, was pitched to us by none other than Boots on the Ground Nick. He wanted us to do 2 episodes a week, and we figured this was like such a great happy medium. What Sorry for the Bait is, it's basically a clickbait roundup of the past week. I think that's the best way to describe it. You know? Right.
Thank you to Stream Elements in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, I know. That's a Stream Elements bot that I program. So, folks, this is
Feel free to
completely
create an account, mix it up in the chat, folks.
This is completely on the. We are building the plane as we fly it, and we wouldn't have it any other way. This whole platform is from melonapp.com. We've got Ace Sorcerer, we got Siler in the chat. Really appreciate you being here.
Hey.
It's a whole podcasting platform that can go direct to Twitch, and so we wanted to give it a shot. But we all have, like Barry and I, we have some articles, we have some topics that we want to cover. It's very fast and loose, so feel free to ask us any questions. It's the quality of your cameras are gorgeous, or maybe that's just because you're both, of course. Thank you, Meat Ass.
Thank you, Meat Ass. I try to be gorgeous at all times.
We always
know my hard work is paying off.
So, Barry, I guess it's weird because we're not following like our normal show schedule. So just real quick,
it's fun to switch it up.
Festivus 400. Hey, Dad. So honestly, I think it's just nice. Let's just play fast and loose. I want to introduce our first topic, I guess, if you will.
All right,
folks. Our first topic tonight. Here's the thing: we want to cover current things. We want to cover the most important things. We have a submission from one of our listeners, Sean. So, Sean, thank you for texting this to me today. Today, this was texted to me, and I'm like, "You're golden. I'm using this tonight."
We got fresh tea here.
Yeah, Barry.
Off the press news.
Barry, Kate Winslet describes being awestruck by quote mythical WAWA. Now,
wow.
now,
let me tell you something, Kate. This is some salt of the earth.
It's almost as if Kate Winslet knew we were going to be going live tonight and was like, I got to throw the big guys a bone.
I'm amazed at our reach. I mean, we already have friend of the show Elon Musk. We already have friend of the show Demi Lovato and Lizzo, and we've got Kate Winslet to it. It's just
we have so many friends out and about, and we really appreciate them throwing us a bone. So the skinny here, ironically enough. Oh, good evening. Good evening. The skinny here, right, is that Kate Winslet is in Pennsylvania filming a show. What show? I'm not going to look deep enough into the article to find out. I'm really just focused on the WAWA.
It's about the WAWA.
It's honestly all about WAWA.
Do you know which location it was? It wasn't in the Poconos, was it?
Was
it our WAWA?
No, it was in Delco, in Delaware County. So it was not in the Poconos. But regardless, so she was out and she basically subscribed to the local newspaper while she's out there filming. So she was like, I just want to keep up with what's in the community. And she kept seeing just a bunch of articles referencing WAWA. And she was like, it's a gas station. Why are all these people talking about a gas station?
What's so great about WAWA anyway?
Right, which is very Americana at its core. And she walked into the place and the quote is so incredible. Okay. So basically, to finally walk through the door of a WAWA, I felt like, oh yes, I'm here. I belong. This is where it's at.
Yes.
And
this is where it's at.
Truly, celebrities, they're just like us, because I had that exact mental quote in my mind the very first time that I walked even into a crappy WAWA.
I feel like at camp it's this very mythical thing. I actually remember going to WAWAs as a kid because I was born in Pennsylvania, so
right, so you would be up there. Yeah.
I knew of WAWA. But that was a camp legend, and so many of the campers would hear people talking about WAWA, and they would get hyped for it.
I remember,
and then they would go and order a roast beef on their
I remember being a camper and hearing counselors go out and describe the sandwiches that they would get, all the things that they'd put on it. And you're already at camp, so any type of described sandwich is already the greatest thing that you've heard in weeks. After just kind of not having the food that you're so used to eating. And so I remember the very first time that I walked into a WAWA and you always expect it to be overhyped. You know what I mean? You expect it to be overhyped. Nope. It met every expectation that I possibly had. And you get that fear.
Which is why we don't feel bad about hyping it up all the time, because I don't think you could go into a WAWA and come out without feeling just a little bit blessed.
Exactly. You can't come out okay, but you know what's funny though is that she references the hoagie in this article that she got, and she was full on nuts about the turkey gobbler, the gobbler sub from Wawa.
I've never had the gobbler.
Yeah, right? Isn't this weird? Like, we have never had like the Thanksgiving style sub. Maybe it's just because like when I go to Wawa, like a Thanksgiving sub is a staple of every sub shop that's ever existed. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to Wawa, like I go to Wawa and the W's are for weird and weirder. Like that.
I'm a creature of habit when it comes to Wawa. I feel like out of all of the years going there, I may have had like 5 or 6 different like sandwiches that
you get into a comfy habit. But like
I didn't explore.
Like when people ask like what's the most relatable experience that you could have with a celebrity, it's probably this one. Like it's without a doubt this one. Like that, I will never be able to relate to a celebrity more than, of all people, Kate Winslet.
I want to see like a little like mini online like YouTube series of like celebrities go to Wawa for the first time. What do they get?
Right? Yeah, that would be interesting. Or like what? I almost wish
like,
that
what does
there was
Matt Damon get at his first Wawa?
Like, or like based on your sandwich order, which celebrity are you? Like a shitty BuzzFeed quiz. Like. And like all of the ones we
start naming their sandwiches after celebrities,
right? And then it's like, oh man, like this one was too weird. You're Army Hammer now. And they
already have one celebrity sandwich, the Roth.
They do. That's a legendary sandwich. So like honestly, I just felt like that was worth leading off because that's in our wheelhouse. But you know what? Let's go. I like the turkey. We have people in the chat who like the turkey. I don't know. It just seems very. Not basic, but like
for me, like we've talked about this before, Wawa was like a place to like celebrate, like treat yourself. Like
right.
It was not a place to turkey to me as a sandwich filling. Like it's good.
No, it's not bad, but it's not
but
weird.
It's also healthy.
Right.
And like it's overloading on like chicken salad was a much more satisfying way to cope.
I have friends that I grew up with, like friends from home who when like they heard me talk about Wawa like in our later camp years, like they asked me what I would get like when they went for the first time. They were like going to Wawa for the first time. I've heard so much about it. And I almost feel like this like weird ambassador of sandwich, like for people who are going for the first time.
Oh yeah, because it's a very tough thing because I've never had like roast beef or pastrami there,
right?
But like I know of people who like went to Wawa and they decided to have their first be a pastrami sandwich, and you know I don't yuck other people's yums, but there's a part where it's like don't waste your shot, man.
Right. Don't. Wawa. That's a good way to put it.
First Wawa back.
Don't waste your shot. This is your shot, and you better make it count. You best not miss. You know what I mean? Heyo. What do we got? Zuck it, my dudes, is now following. So thank you so much for that. Potato Lady Bex, roast beef or bust for me. We have Siler with usually a combo turkey and ham on my subs. I like that. See now
there was a bit where I went for the Subway club sandwich back in the Subway days before.
Yeah, because like that's the thing. Like it's a club, but everyone's invited. Like roast beef and turkey, that's a good one. I like that. Bex, I like roast beef or bust. I'm a big roast beef fan. I just thought that was worth being the start for this.
Steph, have you ever had Arby's?
I've never had
roast beef. Really got stuck in my head.
I've never had Arby's. And like in Massachusetts,
where's the closest Arby's?
I think it's in Dedham because we have a friend who goes there often, and it's like
we've been through this before,
right? It's like almost an hour away. This is a side topic too, okay? Like I get so annoyed by chain restaurant commercials that don't have locations in your area. I hate that. I cannot stand that.
If I can't get your food, don't make me want to buy your food. Just don't market to me. I'm okay with that.
Right. Like, why is your dumbass paying for a national advertising budget if there is no Carl's Jr. in my backyard that I can't spit from my window on? Like, that's what annoys me. I don't like that. And the places that we have too much of, I don't see like as much advertising as I see of the places outside of it. You know what I mean? Like that's just weird to me.
Where you're from.
Right. Exactly.
People in the chat that are frowning upon Arby's. I won't take that slander.
Dude, the internet... Oh man,
what the conspiracy to talk about Arby's?
Yeah, I need the conspiracy about Arby's in the chat right now. So please drop that. But hey, can I move on to something a little like just
all
like
right, we'll revisit the Arby's conspiracy theory in a bit.
Yeah, I wanna switch over to like a very kind of like topical kind of thing. Obviously, it's just a
like
topical
ointments
subject.
and lotions.
Barry, we are still in a global pandemic. This is known. But hey, that doesn't mean that scientists are only working on the vaccines. Now, okay, this article came out at 1 p.m. today. 1 p.m.
Yeah.
The pandemic has been going on for the better part of what? A year and a half? No, like almost coming up on a year and a half. Okay.
Yeah.
Barry, the title of this article, scientists have taught bees to smell the coronavirus. They can identify a case within seconds.
So, like, if you go to the hospital for a COVID test, is it that bees will swarm your face if you have COVID?
Exactly. You couldn't have picked...
the number of COVID tests...
anything else?
I would not go get a COVID test at that point.
Anything else?
I'll take my chances.
And of course, it's scientists in the Netherlands, man. Like, you couldn't have picked dogs. You had to pick bees. Like, you're like, hi, I'm here for my COVID. I'm here for my COVID. I'm here for my COVID
the Oprah
test.
gift where it's like bees.
I'm here.
It's like Oprah giving bees to everybody and bees attacking.
I imagine like pulling up to the parking lot and be like, hi, yeah, no, my COVID appointment's today. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to run into that field and you're going to hear buzzing. If you hear buzzing and it's soft, you haven't gone far enough. Keep running. Well, like, Jesus anaphylactic Christ, dude. Like, that is the biggest, like, worst piece of garbage that, like, who would spend their time being like, who's
and
going to...
if you can teach bees to do things, why is, like, I get that, like, we are in the global pandemic, but I feel like if you can control bees, COVID is kind of like, what else can you do with that?
Right, exactly. Now, this is an interesting point that so Seth and Nick Fanboy says, yo, what if bees are the secret to ending the pandemic? Like, what if bees are the secret to ending the pandemic?
Well, that's a bad thing because they're endangered.
This begs the question, though, is would you get, like, if someone came up to you and just in this crazy scenario was like, hey, like, you can end the global pandemic. Just you can end the global pandemic, but you have to run into an entire swarm of bees and get stung by every one of them. Now, notwithstanding being allergic to bees, because like that's a bad trade-off. Because that's a tough one, though.
Would you well, no. Think about it. Would you sacrifice yourself in a very painful death for the global pandemic to end? Think about the millions of lives you've saved.
I just don't know. Like, it's just odd to me.
I wouldn't do it.
Like, each time the bees were exposed to a non-infected sample, they wouldn't get a reward. So the way that they did this was like they trained the bees.
They trained them like dogs?
Right. They trained the bees by giving them a treat, a sugar water solution, every time they were exposed to the scent of mink infected with COVID-19. Each time the bees were exposed to non-infected sample, they wouldn't get a reward. So it's like, it's Pavlovian. You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like Pavlov's dog.
What makes it... And what's the trick that like the bees know somebody has COVID?
Like, so basically, eventually
eventually
the bees could identify an infected sample within a few seconds and would stick out their tongues like clockwork to collect their reward. So it's almost like the dog salivating in like Pavlov's dog. So like basically like they were exposed to one scent, didn't have COVID, and they didn't get a reward. They were exposed to a scent with COVID and did get the reward.
Okay.
So then every time they smelt that COVID like scent, which I didn't know COVID had an odor. I feel like it probably smells like Axe body spray, you know?
All right. So here's the main question. Let's say I want to invest. All right. What do you think it runs up to buy a bunch of bees, right?
That's a lot of bees, man.
It's a lot of bees, but bear with me. Like, you get your bees, you start doing these bee COVID tests.
Right.
And then what happens, like, if you stop giving the bees rewards?
They riot. Like, they go back to the queen and they go, hey, queen, it's time to do some queen shit. You got to mess these guys up.
Are they not, like, spreading COVID if, like, the bees go to, like, a COVID person and, like, that person presumably breathes?
I mean, I have to imagine that they're, like, really keeping this thing, like, completely hush-hush. Like,
actually, now that I think about it, it's probably not that they've like actually have bees on their head. It's probably more like they do a blood test and then the
Yeah,
bees,
it's
like, go near
probably
the
in a
blood
lab,
sample.
dude.
That
Like,
probably makes a lot more sense. I was going for like actual like bees.
I just thought that was like
It's a nightmare.
extremely interesting. That of all the like creatures you could pick, bees is the one that was like, you know what, this is the key. Like,
What
I
if
know
the
what.
vaccine was just honey?
Yeah, that, hey, we'd be done with this a lot sooner. I know a bee guy, 2 hives minimum on the low. I like that. So I had to point that out because I just thought that was too ridiculous to not talk about. What do you got? I know you've brought some stuff to the table.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about this thing that's been happening lately with Dogecoin and crypto, and
Yeah.
just like the way that this is kind of just, I mean, blowing up. I saw a couple of articles about how like people our age are like, after all, like seeing all the GameStop stuff, have been like investing a lot more heavily in cryptocurrencies, and
Right.
that math checks out because check, our friends, check.
Right. Yeah,
So
absolutely. I
like this
think
thing
that
is,
it's here to
yeah.
stay. Like, that's for sure. Like, and like, not that it ever like wasn't. It's not like we're giving any sort of hot take that like, hey, guess what, guys? Crypto's sticking around. Like, that's not what we're trying to say. But I think what's interesting is that I feel more comfortable hearing people explain to me like why a crypto is valuable and like what's going into it versus like a company on the stock exchange. And the
Well, I
weird
feel like the big thing is that companies on the stock exchange, like everything about the stock market, the financial system is just so, it's complicated, but like also it's complicated because it was made to be, very
right.
complicated to keep
But I
making
think
money
what's
for
interesting,
people in
right, is
charge.
that
And I
like
feel like crypto was complicated because it's technology, but it's
right.
kind of just like the effects of the technology. It's a lot more fair,
Exactly. And
you
like I
know?
think like once you start seeing crypto used in tangible ways, it becomes a lot more feasible to wrap your head around. But like if someone was to ask me, well, how does the blockchain work? I can't answer that. I have zero idea. But what I do know is that crypto is being talked about in such a popular way that like you almost feel like you're missing out if you're not a part of it. And like that leads to like why I feel like Dogecoin is rising is because this was
So
literally a meme coin.
how far do you think, and like I feel like the power of memes these days goes like crazy far,
Right.
but like how far do you think that like cryptocurrency in general goes? Like do you see it being like equivalent to cash and debit and like other payment methods, like
I
in
will
general
answer
in the
that
future?
to say I will answer that right after we have chat member Tootie Booty saying I didn't know they were this handsome in person. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
shucks.
Thank you kindly. But like that's kind of the thing. Like, how far does it go is such a weird question because like everything is so digitally dominated, and that's the only way. That's like the foundation of cryptocurrency in itself. Like, I just see like we talk about the power of the meme and the power of a joke, and like I want to just like focus on Dogecoin in that respect. Is that Dogecoin was originally created to help explain cryptocurrency to people like that like that was the entire genesis of Dogecoin. And so people who didn't get crypto, you could like learn the basics of it and then buy
It was
into
like
it.
a YouTube video, I think, before it was actually even a
Right.
cryptocurrency. It was
And
just like,
then
here's a YouTube video explaining it.
and
And
then
they
it
turned it
took
into a real thing.
it took on a complete life of its own. It took on a life of its own, and now it's at like 70 cents. And I'm sitting here wondering, how the hell did I get here? And that's absolutely bonkers to me. But like, this is also the same concept of like NFTs, which is like what people are
Mhm.
talking about a ton. But hold on, let's check with the chat, not to derail you from the
Uh,
cryptocurrency conversation, but Smashburger and GameStop have the same exact font color scheme, and I don't know if that's deliberate or coincidental. Maybe
you know what's
Smashburger
funny?
and GameStop are in cahoots.
Yeah, I feel very strongly about that because sometimes I accidentally like don't actually read the sign and I look at a picture or see like a GameStop and I think it's a Smash Burger.
And then you walk in and you're like, well, I'm already here.
No, I don't stop at Smash Burger anyway, so I just drive by. But
Yeah,
it's
no,
given me a double take a few times.
it's something that I never really thought about though. But honestly, like I had to respond to that because I was just like, that's absolutely wild. But like the whole concept of like an
We also have a
NFT.
bunch of VChain chills in the chat.
Yeah, dude, we're pumping up cryptocurrency. cryptocurrencies right now. But I like the concept of like what and like a non-fungible token. That's like what NFT stands for. And it's wild that it's becoming such a thing so quickly, because what it is you buying a piece of digital art. Now, on the surface, that seems absolutely absurd. If you show me a picture, Barry, and you're like, this is my NFT, I paid the most expensive, I think,
$30,000 for
well,
it.
here's the thing: an NFT sold for 79 million. If someone showed me that picture of their NFT that they paid 79 actual human dollars for, I would say
actual dollars,
79 million actual human dollars. I would take their phone and screenshot it and say thank you, like I'd screenshot it and send it to myself, and that's what I have. Like, I don't like, this whole space is so odd to me, but I don't know why it's catching fire. Like, have you ever heard, and I know it's not in your space, it's the sports world, but like, have you heard the term or like the platform NBA Top Shot at all?
I might have heard you mentioning it.
So what NBA Top Shot is, right, is like, it's this platform where you buy and open packs. And in those packs are video highlights.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're video highlights of NBA players, and they're all worth a crazy amount. I can find that same highlight on YouTube. Like, it's such a weird thing to me. And I don't understand.
So it's just like a collectible?
Right. It's like a digital art collectible. And I don't understand like why that has insane value. But
I feel like that's also a meme, and I feel like art itself like is kind of a meme. Like all of like, these things only have value because we say it has value.
Right.
Like it's all the same as Dogecoin.
So
like, it's all really the same.
I wanna catch up with the chat. Ooh, this is a good one from Seth and Nick Fanboy. Seth, what is your favorite soda pop?
I thought you were going to say cheesecake is technically a pie.
No, if you want to know what like my actual favorite soda is, it's Mountain Dew Baja Blast every day of the week. That is like my hands down, but you can only get it at Taco Bell, and for like a short time you could like, and then also right on the heels of that, cheesecake is technically a pie. We can't revisit that. We will waste an entire stream. We can't do it.
That was I think the first time we got so seriously derailed that we looked at each other and we were like, do we have to redo this? Like,
right, I know. And then Siler says, with NFTs, I think it's an issue of owning a specific contextualized moment within the digital age. And I think that's a good way to put it. And then Nick Clive Bixby also says that there's a new company called Digital that's making NFTs that are backed by real life cards. See, now this is like where I'm wondering how it gets to the next level, is because people think in such tangible terms. Like, especially for like collectibles, like a digital collectible.
See, I'm kind of like, I'm reading Sally's comment about a specific contextualized moment within the digital age. And like, my cynical brain kind of goes like, okay, so do I own like this particular like physical moment?
Right.
Like can I buy just this?
Like is what we're doing right now an NFT that somebody could own? You know what I mean? Like because it's a digital moment in time, and I think it's just like it's weird to people because it's so
I call dibs.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
And like go by dibs rules, right? That holds up in court.
Right, exactly. So honestly, I think that's a quick trip to the crypto corner, because I just like I think that was good to bring up. But I do have another.
Skip Tootie Booty's question: Is water wet?
I feel like this has been discussed by scientists. Like water, I don't know the.
I'm not a fun person to have these conversations with, because my go-to is to like. I had this exact conversation with my homeroom a few weeks ago because somebody had asked that question, and I was like, "Well, let's check Google. What's the definition of wet?" And it was like, short answer, yes, it's wet. By the definition of the word wet,
with no supporting, it just is. It just is.
It's by definition. Like if the definition of wet is that it's like filled with liquid, water, liquid, okay, it's wet.
Okay, but Nick Clive Bixby says water is wet definitively according to scientists. And that's all I need. That's truly all I need. But hey, can I give you another submission?
Go for it. I love submissions.
This is coming from
11 viewers.
This is coming from Meat Ass. And it was sent earlier. Barry Baskin Robbins. 21 flavors of ice cream. 21 flavors. They're pretty dead set on that.
It's almost 22 flavors, but not quite.
How does Baskin Robbins decide which flavors get sacrificed so that they always stick to 21?
I like to think they put the 20, like all of the flavors into a gladiator ring and just last 21 standing.
It's the ice cream games. It's the Frozen games, the Hunger Games, the ice cream games. I almost like to think that it's like an ice cream council that like basically has to do like a performance review with every ice cream flavor at the end of every year.
It sounds a lot more corporate. I don't like it.
But because that's how I view Baskin Robbins. Like, I wonder if they're like, all right, come in here, Mint Chip, come in here. So let's just look at your stats here.
Like almost like the M&Ms, just like the actual.
Right, exactly. Like flavor. you really fell short around summertime. You know, it's just people don't want to feel like they're brushing their teeth, and then you have like mint chip enthusiasts like me and you coming in to.
Is there like a visual of like when the 21 flavors? Because I have to imagine that like some of these 21s, like how many of those 21 have been consistent forever? How many of them are like new? What's the most recent new flavor?
Right. Oh, I'm being told it's 31. 31 flavors. Hey, I don't know. 31. I was 31. Okay, but even so,
I thought that was wrong, but I didn't have enough confidence in myself to correct you.
Oh, we in here. Oh man. Oh, listener Sean's in the chat. Sean, you missed. We covered your submission the first thing in the show. I wish you were here. You'll be able to catch the recording on YouTube as well. Okay, on the spot, go 3 ice cream flavors. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay, so it's peanut butter Oreo.
Mm-hmm.
It's coffee.
Okay.
And black raspberry chocolate chip.
Rock Road chocolate chip cookie dough, cookies and cream.
Rocky Road chocolate chip cookie dough, cookies and cream. That's a pretty. Yeah, I like that. Now, okay, I think that this is important to bear.
Birthday cake. That's a good one, Tootie Booty.
Ooh, birthday cake is a really good one. It's a Mira. So sorry, Seth. I messed up the number. It's totally fine. It's all good. Favorite sushi roll is a Husker roll from Hero 38. Ooh, that's a good one. See,
88.
My favorite. So
you're really wrong with these numbers today, Seth.
I said Hero 88.
Oh, I thought you said 38.
No, come on, get with the program. What is your top sushi roll? You can only pick one.
So like my go-to anytime I go to a place is I get a spicy tuna roll, but then I also usually try a specialty roll.
Okay.
I like dragon rolls. I like roll.
Right. I'm such a bougie bitch. If you were telling me that I only have to pick one, it's a spider roll every day of the week. Like mint flavor is just diet toothpaste.
I disagree with that. I like mint ice cream. It's not like my choice of ice cream, but if it's there, I'll eat it and I'll enjoy it. It's
very much like that's one of the few flavors that like is an in the mood flavor. You know what I mean? Like you got
really?
Yeah, like you.
See, to me, I feel like it could be like a main flavor. It could be like a chocolate, vanilla, mint.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's always like an in the mood. Like I kind of have to be in a weird. Like I feel like mint chocolate chip is a very refreshing flavor. You know what I mean? Cotton candy ice cream, a crunchy Marco roll. Ooh, that's very specific to probably.
It feels very awkward to be talking about the sushi and the ice cream at the same time.
Sushi ice cream.
I'm switching.
That's going to be our next craving of the week. What I'm craving this week is sushi ice cream because our minds have been beaten into the ground.
Oh. Okay, so sushi ice cream. How does this work? Let's workshop this live on stream. This is our first live craving of the week. How are we packaging this?
So I guess you would want to do what's like a topping, like an ice cream topping that could serve as like the rice exterior of like a standard sushi.
Sprinkles?
Right? But it needs to be held together. That's the important part. Like, because you know how it's like seaweed wrap or rice wrap. Like, we got to figure out like how you could wrap a piece of sushi with ice cream topping. Because like the middle, you can just do like a little Neapolitan type of like deal, like of different ice cream flavors.
Yeah, you can definitely mix it up.
Yeah, like there's puffed rice. It's crispy. You could do
so.
It could be Rice Krispies. Right. Rice Krispies is a good move, honestly.
I like that better than sprinkles.
And
Oh
I think
yeah, because you
would,
get that marshmallow stickiness keeping it together. Because
right.
you have so much stickiness with ice cream that you don't really always need to rely on the tight wrapping.
Yeah, I agree with that. Or waffle. That's
Maybe the
actually pretty
waffle
good.
cone.
Maybe the
Maybe a
waffle
waffle
cone.
cone.
How is
Yeah.
nobody doing this yet? Why can't you go
Hold on.
get
Is there a
a,
patent for this? Can we
right?
just scoop this up real quick? This is $1 million idea.
Like, why can't you go get a box of 12, like a roll of sushi ice cream, and it's just in little bite-sized pieces? Like, have you ever had like those Nestle Dibs, like those like little ice cream
No.
bites? They're like these little mini ice cream bites, and you can just like pop them in your mouth, and like they're sold at like gas stations and stuff. How has nobody done that? Ooh, a Carvel Crunch roll. Now that's it. Like the Fudgy the Whale type shit.
Yeah.
Like
that's how you do it. You gotta get big ice cream on board and have them make
right?
a novelty item.
A Carvel Crunch roll. Okay, so when I was little, right? Like when I was a kid, like because Friendlies is really you have a few Friendlies on Long Island, right?
Oh yeah.
So I remember
I've known a Friendlies or two in my time.
Right, like when I was a kid, we used to sometimes get what was called a Jubilee roll from like Friendlies, and it was literally just like a loaf of ice cream. Like, have you ever seen these? So I want to try and pull it up.
What's it called? A Jubilee roll?
Yeah, Jubilee roll ice cream. I want to try and see if I can like put it on the chat or on the stream. Okay, hold on. I want to try and share my screen. Chrome tab. Okay, like it looks like this.
All right, I see it.
So like we used to get these sometimes, and this like to me just kind of should have signified a problem in the world. Is like
okay, no, like I love this.
Oh no, Barry, it's very good. But like anytime that someone's like, "Hey,
this?
What? Yeah, oh yeah, there are tons of places who still make this. I think it like caught on as a thing, but because I've seen like knockoffs of it in stores, but like. If someone's saying like, "Hey, do you want to go get an ice cream cone?" No, I want a loaf of ice cream.
Cookie Puss hand roll, gross.
Yeah, that's gonna return a bad
Sunday
result.
With Reese's ears. Okay. Have you had ice cream cake from Dairy Queen?
Oh no, Barry, no. Sorry.
Am I back? I see myself back.
What's it called? I went to go hide the tab on stream. We're learning,
and
folks.
You hid me.
And bye. That's the show.
Tab.
I think that's super interesting, though. Like the concept of ice cream sushi. Okay, let's pause because Boots on the Ground Nick has the basics behind the Arby's conspiracy theory, and I'm gonna read it. Okay. I found the basics behind the Arby's conspiracy. Okay, they rebranded to become Inspire Brands, and now also own Buffalo Wild Wings, Sonic Drive-In, Jimmy John's, Rusty Taco, Mr. Donut, Dunkin', and Baskin Robbins restaurant chains. Where did they get enough money to buy these other franchises? This is a really good question.
So that's Arby's?
Arby's because bought all of these brands.
Inspired brands. I've heard of that before.
So, but like Arby's was
so I knew that a lot of these were, but this started with Arby's?
Arby's apparently was the one who basically was like, you know what? We're just going to go buy everybody. But how did
Arby's is the mad titan that assembled the infinity gauntlet of garbage for your body?
Yeah, Barry, there are not enough goddamn people in the country who are eating roast beef sandwiches from Arby's to justify being able to buy all of those brands.
There needs to be an audit done. That makes no sense.
Like what's next? Is Arby's going to buy Apple?
I'm an Arby's fan, and there's no way.
Like Inspire Brands now buys Apple and Samsung. and now we're going to get the Arby's phone plus 12 Max.
Yeah, the Arby's snipers are going to come after us for talking so much about them.
That's super interesting.
So this isn't really a conspiracy theory, though. This is just a fact.
Fudgy the whale.
Conspiracy theory is like, where did they get their money from?
Yeah, like I have to imagine that, like, I don't know. Do you think all these like restaurateurs just like sat in like a mob meeting, like a Godfather mob meeting, and was like, we have to join forces, and they each brought like a catered dish from their own establishment? Like there's all these like sandwiches and bullshit, and then there's
like everybody just has to get the Arby's hat to sample their plate to see if they get the thumbs up or the thumbs down.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, well, Arby's does have the meat, so they also have the bag. They also have all of the bag. That's super interesting.
I do go to Arby's, Nick. I do like Arby's. You know, when you're eating fast food, when I was eating fast food a lot, a roast beef sandwich was always a nice change of pace.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it was. I feel like it is a switch up from. Oh my God! Actually, you know what? I misspoke. I have had Arby's once, but I never really fully experienced it. It was in the Canton Akron airport, and I only got mozzarella sticks because I was just like, oh, a fast food place that has mozzarella sticks. Sign me up. Like,
how were their mozzarella sticks?
They were pretty good. What's the most you've ever spent? Oh, you see that latest question? What's the most you've ever spent at a fast food restaurant? See,
I mean, we've already gone over the $80-$90 like price meals at Taco Bell before, right?
Yeah, like I'm not joking. Like,
to say it was between the two of us, or does that not make it much better?
No, that doesn't make it any better, dude. Like, and like, granted, like we have some indefensible type of kind of orders, I think, you know, but it's tough. And like, honestly, I have
most of it wasn't worth it.
Right, exactly. Like, I remember like the times that it would get really rough would always be like when I'd be home alone and like I knew no one was coming back around. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, so I would often just be like, I'm just going to go and only have to do one trip. Like, that's how I justified it in my mind. Was like, I'm going to go now. You're right. Because I'm like, I don't want to
get. You're like, oh, yeah, you're going to like pack up a bunch of stuff and like save it and spread it out throughout the whole weekend. And then.
Right. You don't. Yeah. And then you don't.
Why should we tell ourselves?
Right. And then you still end up making another trip. Hey, can I give you a break in foods?
Please go ahead.
Can I give you a break in foods? Now, this one is super interesting to me.
Do we not get the music this time?
I know. Well, since we're not on Streamlabs, we're running this through melonapp.com. So if any of you are trying to do any live podcasting, melonapp.com. It's a really, really fun platform. It makes it super easy, not sponsored. Breaking Foods, Barry, from Pepsi. And this one blows my mind. The drink Pepsi Blue is making a comeback after a 17-year absence. I'm interested from anybody in the chat. Pepsi Blue, like
we talked about this. I've never had Pepsi Blue.
I never had Pepsi Blue, and nor do I ever remember seeing it. Like, apparently, it's a berry flavored drink, which should alarm you. Like, ooh, why aren't you getting credit for that? It's a berry flavor.
Can I get a trademark on the name?
Yeah. Can you get residuals for that? Chat, have you ever heard of Pepsi Blue? I think that's
a branding confusion thing for me, because I think Pepsi, when I think Pepsi, I think blue.
Right.
Like their branding.
Right, because that's like their color. Blue. But this one's...
So to me, if I'm doing Pepsi, I would think it's like Pepsi Red or Pepsi Green or like something different, you know?
And also, like, why would you
Pepsi
call it...
is not bussin'.
Why would you also call it Pepsi Blue? Why wouldn't you call it like Pepsi Blast or Pepsi Blue Blast? Like Michael Scott in The Office, like, oh, Blue Blast. Yeah, keep that. Like, that's a much better...
Was the actual drink itself blue? Was it blue color?
It is, but like that still is bad branding to me. It was a berry flavored cola, and it launched 17 years ago, but was quickly taken off the shelves because it had a controversial like chemical contaminant like in it, like in the coloring, I guess. And the article doesn't say that they've changed anything about it.
They just hope to be forgot.
Right. They're kind of just saying like 17 years later, nobody gives a shit. Let's bring it on back.
Oh, Seth and Nick fanboy. My uncle worked for Pepsi or something and had access to Pepsi Blue before it came out. I tried it before it went out to the masses. Oh, cool.
That's actually pretty interesting that like if that's true. Like
that is interesting. Remember that horrible Pepsi commercial with Kendall Jenner?
Yes. Oh my God. That was like one of like the very few instances where the entire internet agreed.
Yeah, it felt very unified for a day and a half.
Like that commercial came out and people were like, "What?" And I think she got paid like a cool $1 million for that commercial too.
Oh yeah.
She got paid.
Like, it was an expensive commercial to make too. I mean, it was Super Bowl.
Well, like any commercial those brands do. This is what I don't understand. Okay, right? Like I understand marketing and advertising. Like I do. I'm in it. But like I don't understand why Pepsi and Coke and these massive brands are still paying millions of dollars for like TV commercials. You know what I mean? Like I know we've kind of covered this on the show a little bit, but like there is no Coke commercial left on the planet or Pepsi that like I think moves the needle. It's just a part of society.
I feel like it's a thing a lot of these companies do where it's like the cost of a typical commercial that like Coke or Pepsi puts out. Like if you compare it to the amount of money they make in a year, it's minuscule. I feel like they can't have like even for those big Super Bowl commercials, like put those aside.
Right.
I feel like it's more of like paying the premium to take that airspace so that other people can't do it to compete.
Yeah, Abby Keaveney, thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate it. We're one closer to affiliate. Super pumped about that.
When was the last time you saw an RC Cola commercial?
True. That's true.
Just saying. I like Pepsi and Coke keep buying up all the airtime, so RC Cola is just sitting there in the backseat like, guys,
right.
My turn yet?
Or like what about Surge soda?
How about Dr. Brown? You ever had Dr. Brown?
Oh no, like what's the knockoff of Dr. Pepper? Brown. No. The knockoff of Dr. Pepper that Chipotle has. I think it's called Mr. Pibb.
Pibb?
Yeah.
Mr. Pibb.
Mr. Pibb. Like they were like, we have Dr. Pepper, this esteemed medical professional. You're not a Dr. Pepper fan?
I'll say it. I've never been a Pepper fan.
Yeah, I've
also never been a root beer fan.
I'm a big Dr. Pepper fan. See, now root beer.
I am a big cream soda fan.
You are a big cream soda fan. Mellow Yellow. That was a classic. Mellow Yellow was like the cool kid Mountain Dew. And then Mountain Dew was always like pretty rad too. I mean, Mellow Yellow, though. That's not good branding. What about Orange Gina? Did you ever? It was basically like
Orange Crush.
Well, no, like Orange Gina was literally just like orange soda, but with pulp. And I never understood why anyone drank it. I was like, you kill and eat people if you drink that. How about Moxie?
I'm not anti-pulp in orange juice. Like I'm okay with some pulp. I'm not that picky with pulp. Like I know some people have like a huge aversion to it. I don't care too much.
Right.
But like in soda?
Yeah. I think that's super odd.
I'd try it.
And also, I mean, like, do you ever think that Coca-Cola is maybe just like a staple of the country and society because it used to have actual traces of cocaine in it? Like,
yeah, why else would people have it?
Right? Like, do you think it was ever like that addicting? It's always so frightening whenever I see those videos pop up of like Coca-Cola can rust or like melt rust off of cars, I guess, like get rid of rust on cars. And they're like, is this what you want in your body? I'm like, dude, I've done so many terrible things to my body. Like this thing tastes good.
To me, it just makes me feel badass. Like my
body
right, that
my stomach,
but this like rubber can't. Like what?
like
honestly, that's the most impressive fact about me is that my stomach intestines, like I have steel wool lining my stomach. Like that's my perspective there.
Now, this is an interesting fact about you, right?
It's not soda, it's pop. Ugh.
Oh, no. I will die on this hill that it is soda.
Sorry, the entire Midwest. You're just wrong and you have to cope.
I can't get down. I don't know what Moxie is, DNL. Right. Moxie, Festivus 400 said Moxie tasted like rusty nails. That's buddy Jimmy in the chat. Thanks so much for coming by.
What up, buddy Jimmy?
I think that I don't know, man.
13.
Yeah, I mean, we've got
an affiliate in no time.
Seriously, thank you guys so much for coming out and just kind of shooting the shit with us. This is a ton of fun to do. Honestly,
it is.
This is a blast. But hey, can I give you another article?
Oh, throw it at me.
Okay. Title, right? This is from the New York Post. Long Island man dodges eviction for 20 years living in a house he doesn't own. Okay. So a Long Island man who only ever made one mortgage payment has deftly used the courts to stay in the house for 23 years for free. And the guy's name is Gurumrit Hanspel. G-U-R-A.
Nailed it in one.
Yeah, G-U-R-A-M-R-I-T. That's his first name. Hanspel. and he's 52 years old. This dude bought this 2,081 square foot property on Long Island for $290,000 in 1998. He made one mortgage payment of $1,600 and then never paid anything again. So
and he just got away with it?
Completely. Like, he is literally he's filed for bankruptcy 4 times. And apparently in New York, there's what's called an automatic stay clause, which like gives protections to being kicked out of your house. And now he's just filing lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit to stay in his house.
That's awesome.
But these are the stats, right? So
basically, so you could just do that in New York. You could just like
this guy is my hero.
Pay your mortgage one time,
right? One time,
and then just keep suing them until you never have to pay ever.
The dude has he had a
hole in the system of all time.
Right, like this is how the people take back the housing market, because trying to find a house right now is absolutely impossible. And this dude had a 7.4% interest rate, right? 7.4%, and he stopped making payments over this time. Over this 23-year period, he has saved $440,000 by not making any payments. That's just good. That's just good finance right there. Like, you
honestly,
can't tell.
I feel like he should be made a national hero. This man,
right? And like, of course, all these people,
I would love to get that.
All these people are huffing and puffing about how like he just hasn't, like, he's been abusing the courts, and I think that that's super funny. Hold on, wait. Nick Clive Bixby says, guys, did you know that if you stay at an Airbnb in California for more than 29 days, you can just refuse to leave, because according to their laws, you are now a resident and you can't be kicked out for 6 months.
I did hear that was like a thing that, like, as far as like squatters' rights.
I remember it was like a bit on Silicon Valley for like there was like a couple episode arc where like the guy Jared couldn't get back into his condo because a squatter overtook it. That's absolutely wild. Why would you ever Airbnb your place then? I'd be so scared.
Well, I feel like at that point you just like don't let somebody stay for 29 consecutive days, you know?
Yeah, but people are
just like, oh, what's that? You're trying to stay 29 days? Sorry, you got to leave the day early.
It's super real and also insane.
That is consecutive, or is it?
That's wild. Maybe we need to start looking for Airbnbs out in California. Why not? Let's go stay 6 months out there. Who cares?
It sounds a little more pleasant than buying real estate in Long Island.
That's absolutely insane. I couldn't imagine that. But like, between this dude just completely just saying, that's the funny part about, like, the bank that he got it through, his mortgage through, went under in 2008. So then like JP Morgan took over his mortgage, and they were like, you got to go. And he just straight up just goes, no. Like, like that's one of the best things you could do. I'm surprised summer camps don't Airbnb some of the cabins. Ooh, that's interesting.
You know,
I always thought this about camp. And remember when we were working at camp sometimes?
About this.
Well, we were working at camp sometimes, like PVR, before camp would start, and people would call up camp thinking it was like a resort. And they'd be like, hi, do you have any rooms available?
That was always funny. No, we know we're called Pocono Valley Resort, but we're not a resort. Come on.
Right, exactly. And that's what it was like. And that did give us the thought of like, well, why wouldn't you? If you're telling me that would be a killing on TikTok as an Airbnb listing, like to say rent a summer camp. Rent a summer camp. Go nuts.
Especially, I mean, the beautiful views that you get there. I mean, no matter what time of year. I've always wanted to see what it looks like in the winter.
Right. Like, I mean, I think that's let's run an Airbnb and people going on vacation. We run a personal fat camp out of it. People show up.
Sorry, all of the kids have been here for more than 29 days. They're all legal residents, and you can't kick them out for 6 months.
No,
sorry.
That would be super funny if you like people came in for their relaxing Airbnb vacation, and it's like, welcome to fat camp. Get running. Just like someone puts down their
was
bags.
In the fine print when you clicked. When you didn't read the terms and conditions.
Right, exactly. It's in the fine print was, in order to be able to leave, you got to drop 10 pounds. Get on the scale. Get off the scale. Oh, that
I want to leave. You shouldn't have had that extra sandwich.
That would be super funny. I'll get the squat rack ready. Yeah, Siler, that's what I'm talking about. Get the squat rack ready. I don't know. I think that's man, maybe we should start looking at land and just building out a campground just solely to Airbnb it. Why not?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we've had worse ideas. Truly.
I mean, all we're really talking about is buying land and renting it out. It's not really the most revolutionary idea in the world.
Yeah, I know, but like whenever I put these things in simple terms, I then think I can do it. And that's kind of like one of my age-old problems with any venture. It's just like that looks like it's doable. And then you quickly realize, oh no, there's a lot more that goes into that.
Yeah, I know nothing about this space.
I don't know. I just thought that was I thought that was pretty funny. So I want to cover really quick the results of the MyGo 3.
Oh yeah, because
I want to go over this because this was one of the most lopsided MyGo 3s in segment history. Like,
and honestly, I'm standing by myself. I'm really disappointed in you, chat.
I am shocked because I thought the fact that you had mimosas in there, but so many people. For
me, it's the eggs and toast. Like, you don't like, that is top tier. And if you don't agree, I mean, you need more eggs and toast in your life.
You need more eggs and
simple things in life.
I think what people got shooketh by was that you kind of double toasted. But I didn't even see it that way though, because like French toast and regular toast, it's like that's apples to oranges. Yeah,
thank you. Like, one of them hits that, because to me, it's not about like, people could talk about like, oh, two breads or like carbs, and to me, it's really about like what flavor is it hitting. French toast kind of hits my sweet tooth a little bit. You get the syrup in there, you know, so it's like this like sweet, almost like, to me, it's like the dessert side of breakfast,
right?
Whereas like the meat and eggs and toast, like that toast is just like part of like breakfast. Like, that's the meal of breakfast,
right? Barry, why not turn eggs and toast into eggs in the basket? Interesting.
Let me just real quick alt tab eggs in the basket.
I think eggs in the basket is like another name for like when the egg is like cooked in the middle
on the toast.
Right. Oh. Where was the bacon Festivus?
I've never heard of it, but I'm gonna try it now. Is that something? If I just went to like a regular diner and said eggs in a basket, would they be? I
wonder if they know, or I wonder if that's like a geographical thing. This is another question that I kept getting. Where was the bacon? I got that question so much when I put the thing up on our social pages. Here's the thing: the environment plays, right? Like it's the environment to me. I said it on the show too. Like there's something about dense breakfast sausage at a buffet that is way more entitled. Like, I am getting sausage and bacon both on my plate. Like, I just keep getting spam bacon in the chat, but like they're gonna both be on my plate. But if you're telling me to like pick one and throw it into the MyGo 3, I trust the dense breakfast sausage patties more than I trust bacon. Can be so hit or miss at a buffet, dude.
That was my thing. I have two reasons why I consciously decided to leave bacon off of my list.
Right.
Number one is, like you said, it's hit or miss. For me personally, like, everybody loves crunchy bacon. I'm not a big fan of the like very crunchy bacon. I kind of like it to be a little bit soft and stringy.
Yeah, a little flaccid, if you will. Like, yeah.
Not like grossly so, but like I want a little bit of firmness, but not too much.
I'm with you.
And I feel like my ideal bacon is not the average bacon that I would get served just at random.
Yeah, because like that's the thing too. Like, if you're catching the end of the bacon tray at a brunch buffet before they bring out the fresh one, oh, that's rough. That's rough. Like there are broken dreams in that tray. Like, with that shitty bacon.
Sad. Honestly, it makes me cry inside. But the other reason too, I do feel like bacon is one of the most, and I like bacon, I feel like it's one of the most overhyped foods.
Yeah, you're in this camp. You think bacon is an overhyped food.
You know, and like, I like bacon. Like, I don't think it's a bad food. I feel like there's like, I think a lot of people have like a lot of maybe it's just I've seen so many like bacon t-shirts and like everybody's like, I don't know, it's like a meat lovers thing, but like bacon's the one that everyone talks about.
Right. We're getting a lot of love in the chat for like hash browns smothered in country gravy.
Hash browns.
What's going on here? Nick Clive Bixby is hosting the stream with one viewer. Let's go.
What up, Nick? Thanks for the host.
Yeah, Nick's hosting us on Twitch. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks so much, Nick. We really appreciate that. But back to the point, Mandy says hash browns smothered in country gravy, side of bacon and toast. I really love that. And then obviously,
country gravy is so good. Fried steak.
Fried steak with sausage gravy. is one of the greatest things ever created on this earth. But that was a thing that almost made it into my go 3 was biscuits and gravy. But here's the thing at a brunch buffet, right? I'm playing the long game.
Remember, buffet is the
right.
key.
I'm playing the long game here. If you have biscuits and gravy, you have to budget in a nap after that. Like that is hold on, Abby. Fun fact. Hold on. Abby, fun fact. My first job out of college was working for Smithfield Foods. Ate bacon every day. That's a pretty. If you have a job that you can eat bacon every day, whether you think it's overhyped or not,
to have
worse jobs. There are worse jobs to have than that. That's pretty dope. I think
bacon by itself is overhyped, but bacon is underappreciated in some hashes and other combo additions. I agree with that.
Right.
I feel like I agree with that a lot. I think bacon is best when it's with something else.
I think so too. We also got a follow from M Neisler 85. Thanks so much. We really appreciate you coming by. Barry, we're crushing it right now. I know we're so modest all the time.
What's that up to? We don't have that usual Apex
overlay
there.
I know we don't have the counter, but I do really like this layout a lot. But
I do.
I
French toasted banana bread.
Ooh, see, now I have had challah French toast before, and that I will go to the end of the earth for.
Ooh, yes.
That's really, really good. That's very
pronounced
good stuff.
Challah.
It's challah.
You gotta say it like you're coughing up a hairball. Challah.
Challah. Barbara Streisand. No. I mean, but really, regardless, I do think that it should have been closer. I was shocked. I think the reason why is because like I kind of hit like the mainstays, like the waffle, the omelet station, it's because the environment always plays. Bacon is great served with bacon. Yep. That's what. See, now have you ever been to a steakhouse that serves bacon as an appetizer? I don't know if we talked about this on the episode. I feel like we might have.
I've never been much of a steakhouse guy, to be honest.
So no, I know that they're like a big thing at like a lot of those like upper echelon type of steakhouses is that like they have thick cut bacon as an appetizer, which it really can't get more American than that.
Thick cut bacon.
Yeah, it's almost like bacon steak at that point. Like that's insane. I think that I would probably die if I went to like those high end steakhouses a lot.
Yeah, it feels like the kind of thing where with high-end steakhouses, it kind of forces you to stay in check unless you just like go in saying like, I'm going to drop a $10,000 check here.
Yeah, dude, like that.
But like, how much are you going to really eat at a nice big steak?
Right,
place?
Exactly. Yeah, no, you can't do it. I remember when we were planning to go to Vegas.
That's definitely, you got to pre-game your food.
Right,
there.
like when we were planning to go to Vegas in February and before like we ended up canceling.
Oh, right, that phase.
Right, like, and I remember planning out like the nice steakhouses that like we were going to go to and stuff like that. And I'm so sad that we didn't go. We're going to have to do like a live episode in Vegas when we get a redemption tour and go back. But
yes,
but I honestly thought that was worth looking into. But do you have any other topics before I introduce what I want to finish with?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. I mean, we're coming up on an hour and like we kind of didn't like we just wanted to budget to see like how comfortable this was to like kind of just be chopping it up because honestly, after this past week was super stressful for me. I really just kind of wanted to blow off some steam. And I think this is a really fun way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I like having like the live reaction in the chat.
Yeah.
And I like it's kind of funny. I think it's funny that like it looks like every video of like people who are talking remotely that you've seen for the past like year and a half, even though you're in the other room.
Right, exactly. So I want to bring up just our last clickbait kind of news article that I really wanted to cover. And Barry, the title, Ohio State Senator caught driving during video meeting. Okay? I'm going to play
during a video meeting.
So I want to play this and then I will give you more context, okay? Let's see.
Full screen it.
I don't think I can. That's the thing.
What if you click it?
Well, no. Like I can, but it'll like obliterate the entire screen. But just watch this guy, okay, chat? You got to watch this guy. This is a state senator on a meeting, right?
The virtual background.
And then he goes, oh shit, this looks terrible. And now, see, he's looking around.
Oh, just me in my living room with my little seatbelt over here.
Party hard. And then it just goes back out, and then.
And this was during a video meeting. Was this during like a live, like a public meeting, or was this like a privately recorded meeting that got leaked?
No, I think it was like a private meeting that just like
funny
that somebody had to have leaked. But the funny thing about this,
I mean, if I was in this meeting, I would definitely hit the recording button just to send it to people and be like, "Dude, you see this shit?"
I think that's so funny, dude, because the entire meeting was about a bill for distracted driving. Like.
Irony's dead, Seth. It's been dead for a long time.
You have to be a special saucy kind of stupid to try and pull something. At least own it. Own it that you're in there.
If you're gonna do that, at least make it like tongue in cheek. That like,
right, like be like, oh, isn't this funny?
You're distracted. It's like if your whole point was like, it's not that big a deal. See, look at me now. Like, okay, then there you go.
Right, like it's one thing to just be driving during a Zoom meeting because like I get it, like people are busy or like you're going from one place to the other, like people have kids, stuff like that. But on an entire meeting dedicated to a bill about distracted driving, and your dumbass is trying to put yourself in a fake living room. Like, and like he's looking around left and right as if he's like his green screen is working properly, like an idiot. And just the seatbelt is the cherry on top. Like that's the best part. But the funny thing is, right? Like I can't, like you couldn't play the sound, like because it wouldn't play through the platform. But like at the end, all the people in the meeting are like, "Are there any objections?" And he just goes, "Nope." Nope. And nobody calls him out on it.
He accepts it.
I think that's so freaking funny, dude. Like, I'm trying to imagine like what it would be like to just be a state senator put on blast like this. Like that just has to inspire the least amount of confidence in any of your like constituents.
Mida said, I have classmates in my Zoom classes driving while this is happening literally all the time. Right. I feel like that is a thing that like once everybody started being able to do their meetings from wherever that like, like how many Zoom meetings do you think happen in traffic?
That would freak me out though. Like if like I had to like contribute.
But how many Zoom meetings do you think actually do happen though? Think about these like
that's true.
Busy people like, you know, it's a great way to squeeze in more business meetings. I don't know.
And it's more so like, and that's kind of my thing. Like if you're driving, own it. Don't put up like you can tell he puts up the background, but then he sees like the faded outline of the green screen.
How bad it is.
And
like, he's turns it off for a second and then turns it back on. It's just like, this is my life now.
Like this guy tried to do what like people spend millions in CGI to try and do in feature films. And he was just like, oh, this will work on my phone. Like it's just kind of the big thing. Hello, Captain's Medic. Thank you so much for coming by.
Hello.
But
I've definitely been driving more than a few research manuscript meetings on Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, like I totally get it. Like, see, now I haven't had the experience where like I've been in a meeting, but like definitely during work, especially like sometimes in the morning, like midway through the week, like
I feel like I couldn't be on the ball. Like if it's a meeting where if it's like a big meeting where I'm putting myself on mute and someone else is talking for an hour, like then it's basically a podcast, right? But if it's something I have to be involved in and like do any sort of thinking, I can't do that while I'm driving.
Hold on. Mandy says, did you see the one about the doctor who was doing surgery and zoomed in on his court date appearance for a ticket? Like, dude, you're doing surgery right now. Okay, this is a good side topic. Thank you, Mandy, because this is very important. I've never had like complete major surgery before, right? But if the day ever comes, I am going to be so nervous about what the doctor is doing when I'm unconscious. Like I have like such a weird kind of thing if he's going to be like, God,
you'll be asleep. You won't know.
Right. Like I'm always going to be paranoid.
It's too late.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be so paranoid about like what were you talking about? Like, could you imagine a doctor doing surgery on you and he's like, "Yeah, the Mets, huh? Rough game last night. Like here, scalpel." And like that shit would freak me out. Like I almost want them to just not talk, even though I'm unconscious.
No, what really freaks me out is the idea. There was a guy, and I forget when this happened, but he was like arrested because he had been tattooing patients. Like he was a surgeon who would like tattoo the inside of like people like in their internal organs and stuff. Like nothing that would damage them. So supposedly nothing that would damage them, but like as just some sort of perverse like
that's
I was
sick and
marker.
sadistic. See, I thought you were going to go a totally different route, which is objectively kind of funny. Was the dude? It was either the doctor or the dentist who like was on a hoverboard while he was doing stuff.
Oh no, but that's like he was cool.
Yeah, it sounds cool, but like that's one dude. People fall on those hoverboards so fast. That is a quick way to getting a multi-million-dollar lawsuit.
Like, but yeah, no. So just imagine like the inside, like and like people like walked around for years without knowing that like inside there's like I don't know a dick drawn on there,
right, like intestine. Right, like someone in the chat. So Festivus 400. So he goes tagging. It's almost like a graffiti artist, but doctor edition.
Yeah, because isn't like a big thing with tagging is like, look, who was even able to get there to tag that? Like, how did you even get up there?
Yeah, like,
and so it's almost like the internal. How did you even get in there to do that?
Huh? Like, way to fucking go, Banksy MD.
But maybe this is a new space that people should start experimenting in. I mean, I know there are a lot of people out there that have used up their whole canvas, so to speak.
Oh, that's true.
Tattoos. You know, what if flipping yourself inside out is like a new way to start over with that? You know,
speaking of tattoos,
get some internal tattoos.
Speaking of tattoos, can I ask you a tattoo question?
Oh, absolutely.
So you have your one tattoo. You have the strawberry.
I have my one tattoo on my thigh. It's a thigh tattoo of the strawberry emoji.
Would you ever get another one?
Yes. I wanted to get another one for a while, actually, for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I want to get. And for me, the strawberry was a powerful enough thing that I was like, yeah, no, I'm getting.
We also got a follow from SGash21. That's Sean. Thank you so much. Gash. It's listener Sean. Sean, thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate it. But like that's the thing, dude. Like,
yeah, no, I do want one. I just don't know what I want, and I don't want to put something on my body that I would regret in 6 months. But like once I know what I want, then I want to get another tattoo.
That's what I freak out about, right? Like I constantly freak out about how like is it going to be the one thing that like I know I'm cool with for the rest of my life? And I guess that because like okay, there was a kid who I went to.
There's a switch that flips with most people I talk to though, where like once you start like tattooing, and maybe it's like one tattoo is one thing, but like once you start getting more tattoos, you start to not put it so much up on a pedestal. Like
I guess, yeah, that's a good point.
Who have tattoos where they're like, yeah, it doesn't really mean much to me anymore, but like so what? That's something to be done.
Mandy wants an under the boob tattoo that I honestly, you know what? Same. Just in case they ever come back and I can just kind of lift it up and it just says, hey, that's how I'll say hello to people. Just, hey.
I was talking with our friend Hope about tattoos and about like, that attitude that old people always have of like, well, what's that going to look like when it's saggy and you're older and your skin. Like,
right. Yeah, that is like the curmudgeon take.
And she had the best answer to that of all time, which was, it will look like your skin, except more colorful.
That is good. I do like that. Like there was a kid that I went to middle school with. I won't drop names because that's not fair. But basically, when we were it was our freshman year of high school. He got a tattoo. His brother gave it to him. And it was a basketball jersey with his name on the back of it. And it was on his forearm. And I was like, man, 20 years from now, in retrospect, is that going to be the thing? Like, that's what always freaks me out about tattoos.
Like there are people like I know, somebody that I used to work with in college. He had showed me a bunch of his tattoos that were like on his thighs, and they were tattoos that he had literally done in high school with a bunch of his friends with just like a
Ooh.
tattoo gun, like handgun tattoo gun. And it was just like, hey, let's just write stupid shit on each other. So he had so he had like a lot of like just weird shit. Like there was just like a random P. And I was like, what is the P?
We also know
he was like, it was supposed to be a 9 for 09, but we were drunk when we were writing it, so we did the 9 backwards, and now it's
nailed it. We also know somebody that has a legalized ranch tattoo.
Oh my god, his tattoos are the best, dude. I love his tattoos.
Yeah,
the platypus tattoo is my favorite.
I just thought that was interesting, and the fact that we got there from a doctor who had been tagging people on the inside. That's just absolutely terrifying. But honestly,
we got from a politician who was
who was in a Zoom meeting. See, that's what Sorry for the Bait is all about. It's just, you think we're going to zig and we zag. That's going to be our new tagline, most likely. Just when you think there's a zig, we zag. But has a B on... my buddy Bob from the marina has a B on both butt cheeks. B-O-B.
You can only see his name when he's totally bent over, though.
Yeah, that's actually really good. I really like that one. But I got a friend with an entire Ouija board as a sub-pec tattoo. That's nuts.
I mean, does he have like a... He should have like a thing to like have people do Ouija.
Right. Like, do you always have to carry one in your pocket? Like that, I guess that'd be like a pretty gangster ass move.
Hey, it's quite a bold way to hit on someone. Hey, you wanna see my Ouija board and we can play some Ouija?
Right. Or it's hey, my Ouija board, or like, I want to buy you a drink, but let's ask my Ouija board, and then he just like does it. Oh, it'd be such a weird flex. But honestly, hey, you never know. I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Oh, she's very mental. I'd absolutely fit her.
Metal, not mental.
Oh, metal. That's what I was going to say. I read it too quick. I was like, that's mental. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. Very metal. That sounds about right, though. But honestly, we're coming up on on an hour. I mean, we're at like an hour 16 right 15. Now. We have had such an amazing turnout right now. I think we've had like a total of like 100.
We've been in the double digits the entire time.
Right. And we've had a total of like 140 messages in the chat or something. Like it's exceeded our expectations, but we are going to wrap it up, folks, and kind of head into like, I guess, our version of closing thoughts. But like, for the first time ever doing this, I knew we were going to have fun. And honestly, success. It seems like the quality is held up pretty fine. Like, I know it seems like we're doing a little bit of housekeeping, but seriously, to everybody who came out tonight, I'm not joking, and I don't want it to sound overzealous, okay? But like, as we keep doing this, if we end up getting a platform that's absolutely massive, you guys here tonight will be able to say you were here for the first ever one, which is kind of cool. Like, that's pretty neat. As for some show news...
The first Sorry for the Wait live stream.
Right. As for some show news, folks, we have officially gone over 30,000 lifetime downloads. Woo! You just blew out their eardrums. Fantastic. But we've officially gone over 30,000 total downloads. And we have officially gone over 10,000 unique listeners. So just to spell that out, at one point or another, over 10,000 different people have listened to these two idiots.
I don't get it. Someone
talk on a podcast. Why? This is completely. We're coming up on like 1 year of Sorry for the Wait. And to be over 30,
oh my God, that's less than a month away.
Right. Like, to be over 30,000 downloads and over 10,000 people who have listened, we have hit so many milestones in such a quick time that it's scary. I mean, it's overwhelming for sure, because we want to just make sure that we're doing cool stuff all the time. But that doesn't happen without everybody who supports us. And like, it means the absolute world to us.
Yeah. My closing thought is with Pocahontas. Mandy, my friend's dad has your name tattooed on his ass cheek. He loves to show it off to people. Maybe that's a joke tattoo like that I could easily commit to for the rest of my life.
And that's such a fitting closing thought for you, honestly.
Thank you.
But I mean, honestly,
that thought's going to stay with me for a bit.
It really is. That one's going to sit for a while. But Barry, this was a blast.
It was. Can't wait to do it again.
I know we're going to have to build this in regularly. So we're going to figure out and kind of go back. Folks, this
great
will
way to spend the Friday night.
This will be recorded. This will be recorded, and we're going to throw it up on our YouTube channel as well. So if anybody missed it or you want to send it to people, we think that could be an awesome avenue for us to get some video content up. But seriously, all over the place, we cannot thank you all enough for the love and support that you give us every single episode, on every single post, and obviously on these streams. So we're going to wrap it up here tonight. But until next time, I'm Seth.
And I'm Strawberry.
And remember, folks, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer, and keep your snacks the closest. We'll see you next time.